Hey everyone, I'm doing my first post commentary today. I'm going to be looking over these games done by me and Nolo. Unfortunately, the audio did bug out because I forgot to record the computer audio, so we don't have both sides of the audio, so I'm just going to be commentating it this time. Gengar is a hit and run deck, whereas LuxChomp is a straightforward traditional SP deck with all of its attacks and Poke turns and all of that. Cards will pop up on the side of the screen as they are relevant, so please feel free to read. I will also be explaining the plays as we go. This was a really good game. Despite looking one-sided for quite part of the game, it actually turned out to be really good at the end. Really, really close. So I start a Nidoran there, and he has a Luxray as a starter. Gonna get the 6 prizes out. And then we are ready to go. Alrighty. So, the coin is flipped. I call tails as usual. It gets heads, so he is going first. Player going first cannot play any trainers, supporters, or stadiums, and cannot... they can attack, though, and they can attach energy, so if he were to have a double Cloudless energy here, he could have attacked. He does have a call energy. He's going to attach that to the Luxray, and it looks like he's going to use the call effect to allow him to search his deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto his bench, but ending his turn in the process. A really good card if you go first, because you can't really do much else. It can just help you set up your board. My deck doesn't play Call Energy though, because these are more modern lists that try to go without Call Energy, not only for cost reasons for me, but also because it plays fine without them. Going to draw. So I drew a Luxury Ball, which is actually a really, really, really good card to draw. You can see Nolo search the Garchomp and the Roserade. Roserade's really good, because he's prepping for my Spiritomb. I'm going to play the Moonlight Stadium, which gives me free retreat, and play Luxury Ball. Luxury Ball is going to search Bounce Way out of the deck, right on the bottom where I want it. Searches out any Pokemon that's not a level X. And then I'm going to additionally use Bebe's Search. And what I'm looking for here is Spiritomb. So Bebe's Search, going to come down, put a card from my hand on top of my deck, and then search my deck for a Pokemon. See, I put the Expert Belt there because I know I'm going to be under my own item lock for a little while now. Going to free retreat with the Moonlight Stadium, giving me free retreat on my Psychic and Dark Pokemon, and then I'm going to use Darkness Grace to end the turn and go into Claydol. You know, there's an error here. I actually forgot to put the damage counter on Spiritomb for the effect of Darkness Grace, but it's not going to matter, so that's fine. But I did forget to put the damage counter there, so gameplay error. He's going to play the guard onto the bench because it's his turn now. He's going to attach Lightning to active, getting ready to hit the Spiritomb, and he's going to play Uxie's set up to draw a couple of cards. The guard is just being played to thin down the hand, but looks like he's thinking about attaching it to active. Not really sure yet. Looks like that's what he's sticking with. There are a few cuts around just because we cut all of the thinking time, but it looks like he's just going to attach it to active, and then end his turn with a bite on my Spiritomb. Now in my hand here, I've got Claydol ready to go, so I'm going to start drawing cards. Going to probably think about playing my supporter first, though. Maybe not. Am I going for the Cosmic Power? Looks like it. I'm going to put one to the bottom and draw 3. Looking like we found some good cards there. Mainly the Ghastly is what I really wanted. That's why I saved the hand, because I wanted energy for Ghastly as well. You have double Rare Candy in there, which is pretty cool. I really wish I could right there retreat into Ghastly, Pitch Dark, and then Rare Candy and then Nidoqueen, but I just didn't really feel like that was a good play to do. So we're probably just going to sit back and do another Darkness Grace into Haunter. So I think there's Nidoqueen in the hand. Double Rare Candy and Judge for sure. Yep, and there's the Darkness Grace. Going to find the Haunter. This Haunter from Diamond and Pearl does have free retreat, which is why it's the best one for this deck. There's the Haunter. Yep, moving the damage counters up this time. I actually remember to do it. So, pretty cool. Going to go ahead and use the Pokemon Collector. Gonna find a Chatot, and going to find another Luxray by the looks of it, and a Bronzong G. So he's gonna put those to hand. Looks like he's changed his mind on the Luxray. He's gonna grab an Ambipom instead. Ambipom is really good for its Tail Coat attack and Snap attack, so it can go in if he has a DCE. Just go in and knock out the Spiritomb, though anything on this board realistically at this point can knock out Spiritomb because it's very damaged. Just shuffling up the deck. I cut a lot of the shuffles later in the video, but a lot of the earlier shuffles still remained. Showing off the sleeves there. because I play this deck a lot, so the sleeves are starting to beat up. And he changed his mind on the guard, which didn't really matter, so I just let him go ahead and change his mind on the guard. He wanted to put it on the Yuxi instead, which makes sense. He's going to put a double colorless energy on the Yuxi, and instead of attacking with Ambipom, he just wants to limit his bench size and go in with the Yuxi. Yuxi's Psychic Restore is going to take the knockout, doing the exact amount of damage to take that knockout. I'm going to bring up the Haunter to the active with the energy. It does have free retreat, meaning I can go back into a Spiritomb if I find one. I'm going to play Rare Candy from my hand to evolve into Nidoqueen. I'm showing off rare candies there to him because I love those candies. Going to attach a Psychic Energy to the Haunter. Great turn here. And here's the real kicker, is that we're going to throw a Judge. This Judge sticks. Spoiler alert, but I judged him away from a Power Spray that he was holding in his hand, and he was not happy about this. This Judge is not only just really good here, but it also sticks for a really long time. You're going to see this game that the Judge does a lot of damage. Off this new hand, I do not find a lot here. I do find a Dusclops, a Dusknoir, a Roseanne, and a Claydol. And I still have my Cosmic Power available as long as he does not draw into a Power Spray. So that's what I'm going for here. Going to draw 4. He did not draw a Power Spray. And I find the Spiritomb, exactly what I wanted to see. Spiritomb is going to allow me to maintain the Trainer Lock and evolve into Gengar. So going to retreat into Spiritomb and use the Darkness Grace to evolve into into Gengar. Looks like we're just considering options. Yep, Darkness Grace. And this time it's actually correct not to damage it because the Nidoqueen is in play, meaning that he will get healed in between turns by the Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen provides healing in between turns. So he's ready for the Spiritomb. You saw earlier he got the Roserade off of the call, and he's just going to Poison Bind it, doing 20 damage, poisoning me, and preventing me from retreating. So I can't use my Moonlight to get out of the poison. I'm going to play Roseanne's Research, checking my hand for what I have. Looks like I'm going to grab a Duskull and probably a Ghastly. Yep. Just really setting up this board. I'm going to put the Duskull into play and instantly evolve it into Dusclops because of the Duskull's Reaper Cloth item on it. The held items are a unique set of Pokemon that basically give them an ability that can't be turned off. I'm going to attach a Psychic for turn, putting Gengar to 3 energy. I drop a Roseanne. Whoops. Gengar is ready to attack with its Shadow Skip attack, but turn is not yet over. I'm going to Cosmic Power 1 to the bottom for 4 from the top. He did not have the Power Spray there, and even if he did, he couldn't have used it because Spiritomb is active, preventing it from being used. Going to then just Darkness Grace to end my turn. Again, you don't need to increase the poison or increase the Darkness Grace damage because of the Nidoqueen. So just going to find the Dusknoir. We do go to 3 because of just poison instead of Darkness Grace and poison because of Nidoqueen being in play. Did we do this math wrong? I thought we did it to 3. It should be to 3. No, I guess we did the math wrong. Okay, I guess we're doing math wrong here. It should be to 3. Unless I'm forgetting something. No, I think I put on 1 too many when he Poison Binded. That's what's wrong. Yeah, so it should be at 2 and then it goes to 3 there. Because I put 1 too many on when he Poison Binded. Should only put on 10. Going to attach to Ghastly. It's just a bit of math fixing there, sorry. Attach to Ghastly for turn. Want to power up that second Gengar. For when it's used, we're going to Cosmic Power again, putting a Stadium to the bottom of the deck, which I don't need anymore. LuxChomp usually doesn't play Stadium, so I don't have to worry about my Moonlight getting bumped. And I'm going to, once again, go and Darkness Grace, this time finding another Haunter to evolve that Ghastly. This is a super stacked Gengar board. This is everything you want in play right here besides the level X. 3 energy on the attacking Gengar. Next turn, we're ready to party. He's going to manually retreat. His Roserade cannot Poke-Turn it because of the Trainer Lock. And he's going to take the knockout, it looks like, with Psychic Restore. Taking another prize, he is up 2 prizes, but my board is stacked. I'm not worried in the slightest. I'm going to promote Gengar from Arceus, the Shadow Skip Gengar. Draw for turn. Find that pesky Claydol again. I have Stormfront Gengar in hand to evolve. I'm going to play down Unknown G to the bench and attempt to use its Guard Pokepower, which he does not stop with Power Spray. I'm going to attach it to Dusknoir to create a pivot that cannot be stopped by Poison Bind, and I'm going to play Roseanne's Research for 2 Psychic Energy. I believe that's the play I do here. Yep. 2 Psychic Energy allows me to continually attach to my board. I want to attach to Dusknoir because Dusknoir is a great attacker in the late game, especially since he's already up prize cards. Dusknoir is going to be great here. It's going to get those 2 to hand and then attach 1 to Dusknoir for turn. If I can build up that Hard Feelings attack, it can hit pretty hard. Going to use my Shadow Skip for 60 damage, or actually that's knockout because of weakness on the Uxie, put 1 on the Luxray, and then I actually forget to take a prize here, but we correct it in a little bit. So up comes the Garchomp. It's going to level it up into Garchomp C level X and retreat it for free. He does forget to heal there with the Healing Breath. That doesn't end up mattering, I don't think, but is relevant. He's going to Bright Look up my Nidoqueen. He wants to take this Nidoqueen out of play, so I cannot heal anymore. Looks like he's going to have to manually attach because I don't see an energy gain. He's going to attach a Call Energy and use its Flash Impact attack, putting 60 healed to 50, and then putting 30 on his benched Roserade. Nidoqueen isn't stuck in active, but it's in Dragon Rush KO range next turn, which is what he's aiming for. I'm going to attach again to Dusknoir, powering it up so I can attack when I please. And then it looks like I'm trying to aim for another Cosmic Power here, but I do have to test if he has a Power Spray to use that. So, just considering some options here. Looks like I'm going to go for the Cosmic Power here, putting 2 to the bottom, 4, 3 from the top. This judge is really sticking him. He has found no Cyruses, and he cannot find his Power Sprays or Energy Gains. So you can see the prize fix here. I just put that fix up there. We cut the clip, and I had to redraw the Cosmic Power with 1 less card just because I got the prize card off of that. So just fix the clip right there. It was a reversible mistake, so it's pretty easy to fix. And then I'm able to curse here, moving the energy, moving the damage counter back to the other Luxray, and then promote this Gengar right here, and use its Shadow Skip attack, likely to end the turn. I do have an Expert Belt though to boost the attack to 80 damage on active. So Shadow Skip does 80 now to active and 10 to one of your opponent's bench. And it can switch Gengar with one of my bench. So now that Dusknoir is set up, he makes a perfect pivot for Gengar to go into, cannot be poison binded, and he has enough energy to attack. So moving back to Gengar to the bench, gonna put 10 damage, looks like, on the Garchomp, yep. And what this sets up for putting damage on all of his Pokemon is that I can potentially use Gengar level X's Compound Pain. I'm going to heal with Nidoqueen once again, heal Nidoqueen to 40 damage. It is still in Dragon Rush range though. I did make a choice here not to attach the Expert Belt to Nidoqueen. I do think that was right. I wasn't able to find another Expert Belt because the other one was prized, so if I would have attached it to the Nidoqueen, I wouldn't have been able to Shadow Skip for 80 for most of the game. He's going to promote the Garchomp though, looking to kill that Nidoqueen, and he's going to go for the Dragon Rush by the looks of it, taking out Nidoqueen, taking out my healing, but he does have to discard a double colorless energy to do so. Oh, he's just wondering what damage was on there. It was just 10. It was just the ping from the Shadow Skip. It is my turn now. Looking at this hand, this like not that great hand to be honest. By this point, I have realized that the level X is prized, which is actually a really big deal. You're going to see in the upcoming turns. I'm going to use the Cosmic Power just to check what I can get from the deck. No sprays being thrown by Nolo on the other side. Unfortunately, not able to find his Cyruses still. Going to attach to active Dusknoir. Now he is powered up to use Hard Feelings if I so wish. Currently, Hard Feelings would only be doing 8 damage counters though, so it's not worth doing over my Shadow Skip attack. Going to bring up Shadow Skip again, free retreating with the Moonlight Stadium. And Shadow Skip's going to be able to hit for 80 damage to active and 10 to one of my opponent's bench Pokemon. You're going to notice here, he has 2 Pokemon in range of being knocked out if I had that Gengar level X, but I don't. So unfortunately, they're just going to remain on the field. Really a shame. If I had Gengar, this game would basically be over here if I had Gengar level X, but I don't. So just going to Shadow Skip again, promote the Dusknoir. At this point in the game, I can't be promoting Spiritombs with the Shadow Skip attack because then he would be able to take all 3 of his prizes without ever hitting into a Gengar, which is not what we want to do. We want to force him to have to hit into a Gengar to take his prizes. So I'm not going to be promoting any Spiritombs anytime soon. He is pondering a choice. He found a Bebe's Search, which is really, really good. Allows him to get a Pokemon from his deck, put a card back on top, and then find a Pokemon. So he really, really needed that. He needs to draw out of his current slump, deciding if that's the right card. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Looks like he's going for it. Looks like he's probably going to find a Yuxi if I had to guess. Probably going to draw some cards. Yep, there's the Yuxi. This judge is stuck in pretty hard. As you've seen the last few turns, he has not used any supporters. However, he was still attaching energy and making progress despite that. It's really, really skilled in a LuxChomp player to be able to make progress even in the worst of scenarios when you don't have a supporter like Cyrus. Does have an SP radar that he's going to use. I think he's just going to use this to thin his deck. Yep, he's just going to shuffle his deck here. Just wants to pare his hand down 2 cards so the Yuxi can draw more. Looks like Yuxi is going to be benched in just a second. Just got to finish shuffling. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. I'm bad at commentary, trust me. Why did my screen go black? There we go. Screen went black for a second. We're back. Not sure what happened with my computer. That's probably very dangerous, but we're back. He is still shuffling for the Yuxi. He's going to bench it and use its setup to draw a lot of cards. I think he drew 6 there off of that setup, so very powerful setup right there. Looks like he may have some cards to use finally in his hand. He's going to bench Garchomp C onto the bench. Hopefully trying to set up another Garchomp to be able to use its Healing Breath. Going to move the Garchomp C level X to the bench, and he looks like he's going to Flash Impact the Dusknoir for 60. The damage will stay this time though, because unfortunately I do not have Nidoqueen in play. He does damage himself though with Flash Impact, so he's got to watch out for those damage counters. Looks like what I got in my hand: a Roseanne, a Pokécoms, 2 Roseannes, a Bebe, and I see a Warp Energy. Warp Energy is really good just in case he tries to trap the Claydol, so I do think I want to hold on to that for as long as possible. Looks like I'm going to go for another Cosmic Power here, potentially. Yep, Cosmic Power. I do have Dark Palm available to me now that he's playing more than 4 benched Pokemon. Or more than 3 benched Pokemon, I can actually shuffle 1 back in. Looks like he's going to Power Spray, though, whatever I tried to do there. I believe that was a Dusknoir that I tried to do. So just going to bring up the Gengar from Stormfront, and we're going to, or I tried to Curse, that's what it was. And then I'm just going to use the Shadow Room and on the Garchomp to KO it. So I put the level X in this card pile. He does find a Cyrus now, though, off of that Yuxi draw, allowing him to get a Poketurn, a Lightning, and a... Looks like he's still searching. The reason he blocked that, the reason he Power Sprayed that Curse is because it would knock out the Luxray level X in the active. So found a Poketurn, a Lightning, and another Cyrus, hoping to chain them and continually use Cyrus. He's going to use Poketurn to fully heal the Luxray, take it off of the board, and he's going to Bright Look up my Claydol, hoping to buy some time. But you know I have that Warp Energy in hand, so I'm all good. He's going to rebench the Luxray GL onto the bench. Going to attach a Call Energy to the Garchomp. Just get some attachments down for turn. It looks like he's just going to pass with the Claydol inactive. Going to draw, and you can see my hand is absolutely nailed. We're just going to Warp Energy. Claydol is not staying around in the active anytime soon. Move back into the Gengar. And then I'm going to Judge. This is so good right here. The Judge is forcing him from his hand back down. You saw that he finally, with that Yuxi, was able to get drawing cards, and I'm just like, nope, no Cyrus chaining. Put that Cyrus back in the deck. Put that, well, he used his Poketurn, but put that Lightning back in the deck. You're going to have to find those again. So, Judge is going to put us both to a 4-card hand, but I still have my Cosmic Power for turn, and I have other abilities, so I'll be just fine, whereas he is struggling a lot more from this Judge. So, I'm going to draw 4 off the top. Find a Baltoy, Bebe, Spiritomb, and another Bebe. Not really that useful cards because I know my level X is prize, so I can't Bebe for it. So, he's going to also draw his cards. I'm probably going to attempt Cosmic Power here. Yep, here we go, Cosmic Power. Putting 2 to the bottom and drawing 4 cards. So, pretty good there. I'm able to find some more supporters. Nothing too impactful, though. Expert Belt and Gengar are both prize, as well as Azelf, Legend Awaken. Looks like I'm just going to shuffle back the Garchomp with Dark Palm on Dusknoir here, which is really good. The reason I chose Garchomp is because it takes away his energy attachment in play, so it's going to put him behind because he hasn't found his energy gains. That's actually really impactful. And then looks like I'm just going to potentially Shadow Skip here to end the turn. Yep, Shadow Skip for 80 to active and 10, I think, to Yuxi. I believe it should be to Yuxi here. That would be the play. Nope. Oh, yeah, I meant to say Yuxi, but he puts it on Roserade. This was a misplay by him. He misheard me and put it on Roserade, so it should be on Yuxi, but I can always just curse it over. He's going to Poke Turn to heal the active Luxray, and he's going to try to go for the trap again, bringing up the Claydol to the active. So he's very intent on killing the Claydol here and trapping it, not letting it do much. He's going to attach to his Roserade this time on the bench with its Poison Bind, hopefully trapping it in the active spot. Going to rebench that Luxray as well so he can get access to Gust, but he's able to find a Professor Oak's New Theory off of the Judge, so he's able to get some cards now. Not ideally what he would have wanted the most, but still a supporter nonetheless. Professor Oak's New Theory is really good in LuxChomp because it provides a very solid draw supporter to get you out of a bad spot like this. So, just going to shuffle up and draw 6 more cards. My board is pretty stacked, though, as you can see, but he's starting to catch up, even in this bad position. We are still pretty even on prize. 3 to 4 prizes is pretty even. He's getting 6 off the thing. He's going to retreat and put the Poison Bind with weakness and poison that hits 40 damage, and I can't use my Cosmic Power, Poke Power, under that lock. Unfortunately for him, I think I have a Warp Point in hand. Yep, there's the Warp Point. Just holding on to that from my last hand, and I'm able to move the Claydol right out. That's really unfortunate for him. He does move the Roserade to the bench. I'm going to move the Claydol to the bench and bring up Gengar. And Gengar is going to be able to Shadow Skip successfully again. It looks like I'm going to play a Roseanne here. Yep, search the deck for probably just thinning. I can get Azelf and Psychic. Azelf unfortunately can't be used anymore because I got that as my 5th prize card. The thing again with Spiritombs, I can't play anything on my bench right now that allows him to take cheap prizes because I want him to force him to have to kill a Gengar to take the game. He can knock out Dusknoir and Claydol, but he's still going to have to take out one of my Gengars. So, just putting them to hand, thinning the deck a little, and then it looks like I'm just going to Shadow Skip, or rather, I think I'm tempting Curse here. Yep, Curse is going to go through, put 1 damage counter on the Yuxi, and then I'm actually going to Shadow Room here to knock out the Yuxi. Do 6 damage counters to a Pokemon with a Poke Power. It's his turn now. He's going to play Cyrus's Conspiracy. I was able to find a Cyrus off of that Professor Oak's New Theory. Probably finding his SP tools again, things like Power Spray, SP Radar. Look, he's grabbing Aaron's, SP Radar, and an Energy. Aaron's is a great card for recovering, and SP Radar is a great card for searching out Pokemon. Looks like we're going to grab Lightning off of the Cyrus. Deciding if that's what he wants to do. Maybe. Yep, looks like it. Gonna put those cards to hand. He's gonna play SP Radar. SP Radar puts the card on top of your deck, and then search your deck for Pokemon SP. Looks like he drops the deck there. Deck's all good though, don't worry. It survives. Looks like he's gonna grab a Garchomp. He wants his Garchomp set back up so that way the spread damage from Gengar isn't sticky, and that he can start healing his Pokemon from my damage of 80. He knows the Gengar is prized, the Gengar level X, so I can't take knockouts by level downing. So if he can get his Garchomp in play and start healing his Pokemon, he can make my attacks worthless. He can also snipe the Claydol, snipe the Dusknoir, and hit for 80 damage if Gengar isn't in the active spot. So, Garchomp getting benched, and he's going to Poke Turn the Luxray, and it looks like he's going to go for it again. Here comes the Claydol back to the active spot. This time, though, he's going to take the finishing blow by using Roserade's Poison Bind to take the knockout. Yep, he's going to attach for turn. He just switched that around to Luxray. We do little take-backs when I'm playing because it's just casual playing, so just going to change the energy there. I'm going to pro Spiritomb once again with the Expert Belt, or not Spiritomb, that is Gengar. Draw a Ghastly for turn. I'm going to play a Bebe Search, and I'm going to put back a Bebe Search into the deck, and then I'm going to grab out, I think I just grab a Ghastly out of the deck. Just mainly want to check my resources, or no, I'm going to grab Gengar out of the deck. Sorry, I already have a Ghastly in hand, so it's better to grab Gengar. So I just want to check my resources, see what I have left. Potentially nothing that useful in there. Besides Yuxi in the deck could be a good in a pinch, but he hasn't used his Judge yet, so don't have to worry about that. Just going to add that Gengar to my hand and just check the deck's resources, and then hit for the Shadow Skip. I am going to move into Gengar from Stormfront instead of Dusknoir now, because Dusknoir is damaged. Gengar has a full 110 HP to just tank a hit. Going to put 1 damage counter on the Garchomp with the Shadow Skip attack. Looks like he's going to promote Luxray to the active with Free Retreat. Makes sense. Maybe we see another Poke Turn and Flash Impact again, maybe. Yep, Poke Turn, and he's going to bring up the Luxray. Going to play down the Bright Look again and bring up my Gengar here. He wants to hit into the Gengar, makes sense. Looks like he's going to rebench the Luxray. He's really been on that Bright Look this entire game. Luxray's really been an all-star. He's going to bench Uxie and set up for a few more cards. Looks like only 2 this time, but it is draw, and he's still keeping his bench size pretty low. Luxray is going to be able to hit here. Maybe he's playing errands. He's thinking about it. Maybe. Let's see what he gets. Getting back. I think he goes for Garchomp Lightning, but I think he changes his mind on this errands. I'm pretty sure I make a cut here because he changes his mind on the errands. So he does put down the energy gain though, so I did have to make that actually in the clip. But it looks like he's about to change his mind. Energy gain potentially going down on the benched Garchomp as well. It looks like he checks his discard pile here and he realizes the errands is a mistake. I think this is where it happens. So I think he's going to take back the errands and decide to Cyrus instead. So just need to wait for that to happen, but the errands will be taken back right about now. So thinking about this still. Just kind of pondering. Yep, here's where the errand gets taken back. He realizes errand's not the play, so he's going to put those 2 Pokemon back in the discard pile, put errands back to the hand, and he's going to decide instead to use Cyrus's Conspiracy. Realizes he doesn't have all the pieces he needs to win the game here, so he's just going to go find them with Cyrus's Conspiracy. Energy gain looks like it's going down on the benched either Luxray or Garchomp. Luxray makes the most sense, honestly, but Garchomp also hits for 80 damage if it can move my Gengar out of the active spot. Looks like he's thinking about it still, potentially putting it down on Luxray there. Looks like the commit is on Luxray. So energy gain decreases attack cost by 1, really, really strong, so you can use Flash Impact for a single energy. Low cost, very efficient, and he's going to use his Cyrus's Conspiracy to find what he needs out of the deck. Looks like he's going for a Power Spray here. He knows I have that Gengar level X in my hand. He doesn't actually know, but he has a sneaking suspicion because I've mentioned something about how many sprays are you down. So he pretty much figured out that I have Gengar level X in hand, and I can start using my level down Poke Power if he lets me. So he's going to grab Power Spray to block that, and Cyrus to keep getting cards out of the deck. Psychic Energy as well is great for attacking with most of his Pokemon, so might as well grab that too. We know he has Errands Collection, so he can get the Lightning back whenever needed, if need be, next turn. So he's going to add those 2 cards to his hand. Sorry, the recording's lagging a bit, so commentary just slowed down there for a second. Shuffling the deck up again. Cyrus is just a really, really great card in these SP decks, allowing them to get all the things they want. He absolutely needed Power Spray here, though, to block that level down. Otherwise, I just win the game, and that would be no fun. Going to attach to the Garchomp on the bench with the Psychic Energy, getting energy back into play. And it looks like he might just hit with Flash Impact here, potentially. Looks like the turn actions are about over. Yep, he's going to hit with the Flash Impact for 60 damage. Looks like he is putting 30 damage on, I think he puts it on Luxray. That makes sense. Luxray is definitely the best target here for it. I draw a Rare Candy for turn. Not very useful here because I don't have my Nidoqueen pieces. He was able to suss me out. I did draw the Gengar level X from the prizes. Level down shuffles a Pokemon level X into the deck, meaning I can hit 80 damage and knock out either Garchomp or Luxray in this matchup. So really strong Poke Power. And if I would have had it earlier, as well as Compound Pained earlier, I would have been able to win the game much, much earlier, but that Gengar was prized. He's able to block the Gengar level X's level down here with a Spray, which does stink, unfortunately, but that's fine. Looks like I'm going to stay in the active this turn because I don't actually want to move to the bench because Gengar has a resistance while it's in the active spot. So I'm just going to hit for 80 on the active Pokemon. And right here, I essentially have Checkmate. He needs a Power Spray to block it because Uxie is in range of Stormfront Gengar, and I have a knockout on the active with the power. He's going to bench Lucario and Toxicroak, just thinning down his hand so he can shuffle back into the deck. Looks like he's debating it. He's going to judge here. He decides to undo that and play down the Pokemon before the judge, just to maximize his chances because he doesn't have any Uxies left in the deck. He's really hoping here for a Power Spray. It's make or break. If he gets the Power Spray, he can block my power and probably win. Just going to do a cut the deck there. Really putting the tension up. Drawing 4 cards off the Power Spray. What does he get? Does he get the Power Spray to save him? Looking a bit frustrated. Does he have it in hand? Slams the hand down. There is no Power Spray there. That is a game-ending hand right there. That means Checkmate is mine. and he just has to flash impact and kind of just concede the game right there. We're just going to play out the motions though on my turn here. Going to go back to my turn, draw a card for turn. I'm going to level down the active Lux Ray, meaning it has 80 damage on it. It will knock out the basic Lux Ray GL. And then I'm going to retreat into the Stormprod Gengar and Shadow Room the Uxie for 60 damage. With the damage counter already on there, that's 70. That is 2 prizes in 1 turn, the final win. And we're just examining our decks. Like, I was just like, Night Maintenance, where were you? But yeah, really good game. We did have some like errors there at the beginning with the Spiritomb damage and not healing the Lux Ray, but it turned out to be a really, really close game despite the judge locking him for most of the game. So that was a really, really fun game to play. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Won't be doing many of these post commentaries. It's just because the audio is messed up. I have one more game that I'm going to record post commentary style, so look forward to that, another 2010 game even. So hopefully we can get more webcam 2010 games in here really soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.